Did you know that you could keep the top strings open, but not just in the key of E major, in almost any key? So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to apply the principle of open strings to create super colorful chord progressions in any key you want. So in the key of E, we have 7 chords: E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B, C sharp minor, and a D sharp diminished triad. So what we can do instead is to play all the chords as bar chords from the 6th string and lift the bar to keep the top 2 strings open. And that's going to create and add a sweet dissonance on all of the chords, right? So the E chord is already like this, but instead of barring the F sharp minor, we're going to lift it, and to be able to play it, we're going to wrap the thumb around and play the bass note on the 2nd fret with the thumb, and then we're going to play the rest of the chord. And that's a super colorful chord. We're going to keep doing the rest for all the other chords. So G sharp, minor, then A, the major shape, you're going to replace the index by the middle finger. And for the diminished, it's going to be this one. So that's a super sweet sound. So if you want to compose chord progressions with this trick, you can choose any of these 7 chords and cycle through them. You can play in the key of E major or its relative minor, the key of C sharp minor, right? So it's all the same 7 chords, but the tonal center is different. So if you play in the key of C sharp minor, you're going to stop and rest on that chord. And if it's the key of E, you're going to resolve on this chord right here. But did you know that you could use this trick not only in these 2 keys, but in so many others? We're going to use the circle of fifths to find keys that are close to it so that we can apply the same principle, right? I like to go backwards in the circle of fifths, because if I keep adding sharps, it's not going to sound really, really good with the top 2 strings, right? So the key of E major has 4 sharps. So you've got E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So 4 sharps. The key that has 5 sharps is the key of B major. So if we do the same trick in the key of B major, that works for a while, but the 3rd chord for me really doesn't do it because it creates kind of harsh dissonance. So we want to create smooth dissonance, not harsh like this, right? So it doesn't work. So instead of, I'm going to decrease the amount of sharps in my keys to find other keys that could fit, right? So the key that has 3 sharps instead of 4 is the key of A major, right? So let's do the trick again in A. So it works just as well. And once again, its relative minor is the key of F sharp minor, so that could work as well. The key that has 2 sharps instead of 3 is the key of D, so that works as well. It starts being slightly weird because the notes that are added by the open strings are B, which is the 6th note in the D major scale, and E, which is the 2nd note in the D major scale. So it creates really extended chords, but that works as well. The key that has 1 sharp is the key of G. That's going to work as well. And to me, that's the limit, because after that, the key of C has no sharps, no flats, but it doesn't quite work for me. Oh, this one, like, it adds a tritone, like a harsh dissonance. Same with the that we had with the B key, right? So it gives us about 8 keys, right? 4 major, 4 minor, the key of E, of A, of D, and of G, and their relative minor. So the key of C sharp minor, F sharp minor, B minor, and E minor. So we have 8 choices out of 24 keys. And guess what? If you want to reach all the other keys, you just have to use a capo. So if you place the capo on the first fret, it gives you 8 more keys, and on the second fret, 8 more keys for a total of 24 keys. So it's either no capo or capo on first or second. But make sure to stick around because I'm going to show you later in the video how to apply this principle in a closed position where you don't have to use a capo and to be able to do it in any key you want. So now I'm going to show you how you can spice up these chords even more by showing you how I composed one of my songs, which is the last song on my latest album at the time I'm making this video, the album I made for my son Cedric, and it's called It's Our World Now. So I used this principle right here. I have the capo on the first fret because I wanted to play in the key of G minor. So it's like the F sharp minor, but with a capo, right? So it's like playing the key of A, right? All of these. All of these chords. The song goes like this. Right, so I use this chord progression, the F sharp minor shape, the D, the A, and the E. But to spice it up and to find a little melody to play inside the chords, I started with the F sharp minor shape. And I found a little motif inside it. So it's just playing the notes of the chord, but it kind of creates a little clustered melody. Right? That's what I love about it. And I just developed on it, right? So on top of the D chord, I just chose a different note to play on top. So that's like a D, but I played it with the open string, so it's on the bass of A. And then I add the A chord, and since it sounded plain a little bit, I added a ninth in it, right? And that created a little motif. Instead of playing it here, I played it here, which is the same shape, right? But with my A chord. And then I did the same with the E. Because the top strings do not add anything different, I added a ninth in it, right? Which gave me my little clustered melody. So altogether, that's what I did. Right? So I added little ninths in it to spice it up even more. If you want to get a lot of great add 9 voicings to play on guitar, go grab my free chord dictionary PDF. That's the first link in the description box below. It's a guide where I added many resources that I gave after my chord lessons on my channel. So you have add 9 voicings, add 11, cluster chords, and so much more in this guide. So you can get it for free. First link in the description box. All right, so I gave you an example in one of my songs on how you can play around this concept of opening the strings and finding little motifs inside the chords. Now I want to show you how to do it in any key you want without a capo, because the goal right here is not really to play open strings, right? It's to use pedal notes, notes that are going to stay on top of any chord you want, and you don't need to use open strings to use that concept. So let's use a key that doesn't work with open strings. Let's say F sharp major. The goal is just to use the root note and the fifth of the scale or the key on top right here, so I can keep this barred and still play the chords at the bottom, right? So I have F sharp major, which is my root chord. And then what I'm gonna do is to play the root of the next chord and the third and maybe the seventh if the third is already present in my pedal notes, right? So I could do something like root chord, then 2 chord. So I have the root, the seventh, and the third of the chord, but I add the pedal notes as well. Then the next chord, the 3 chord, I already have the third in the pedal note, so I'm going to add the seventh. Then I'm going to play the 4 chord, which I add the root and the third. Then I'm going to play the 5 chord, the 6 chord. I already have the third and the seventh in it, so I just added the 5th. And then the 7th chord. And go back to the first one, right? So this is kind of a shape that you can use anywhere you want. Right? So if you want to move it, let's say in B flat, you can. And then you can use it in any order you want. That's something that I did in one of my original songs I posted on my channel, which is called Sincerity. I think you have a lot to explore with this principle to create super colorful chord progressions. So once again, you can grab my free chord dictionary guide, first link in the description box, if you want beautiful add 9 voicings, add 11 cluster chords, chords that are great for songwriting and sequences that I already pre-written for you that you can explore. It's my gift to you for watching my video until the end. You can click on the first link in the description box, enter your email, and I'm going to send it to you in a matter of seconds in your inbox. Also, if you want to explore more chords for your songwriting, you can click on this video right here, 16 chord progressions great for songwriting. So I'm going to wait for you there. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, au revoir.